Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is ReNDoG coming at you from the RenStar maintenance level in this Let's Play Minecraft Feed the Beast series. In the previous episode, we were working on the roof of the power control room, and in this episode, my friends, we are going to be engineering a sweet-ass idea given to me by one of you cyberdiggity dogs, and that is an airlock exit dock for the power module of the RenStar space platform. It is going to be freaking sweet. Sit back and relax, my cyberdiggity dogs. Let's feed the beast. That is our mind. Now guys, before we get busy on today's episode of crafting an awesome ass airlock, there are a few things that we need to talk about downstairs here in the maintenance level of the RenStar. Number one, I'm not entirely sure what happened, but our nuclear reactors have now run a full cycle. Let's just get up here. They literally about 2 minutes ago finished their 3-hour cycle. But when I came downstairs into the maintenance level, none of the centrifuges were running and all of the lava cans were actually in the overflow chest over here. So for some reason, over the last cycle of nuclear reactors above, so over the last 3 hours, the relay in the back there has been sending the lava cans into the chest and not into the centrifuges. So I've not been able to figure out whether we can produce enough copper for a new set of quaduranium cells within a 3-hour period, which is kind of unfortunate. So what I've done is I've refilled the industrial centrifuges with another stack of lava cans, and we're going to see if the same problem happens again. If all of the lava cans that these centrifuges produce end up in this chest over here, then we know that there's a problem with our sorting system over down here also. I'm also currently timing 3 hours, so I'll be able to basically do the same test again, but as soon as we have enough copper, I think I'm just going to make another set of quaduranium cells and get them into the nuclear reactors and just try and do the test one more time. That's kind of annoying, man, but that is Feed the Beast. There's a lot of testing and analyzing and retesting in this game, and you know, if you want to get something to work 100% right, you've got to test it over and over and over again. Now, in today's episode, we are going to be making something that was suggested to me by one of you cyberdogs in the comment section of the previous video, and that was an exit dock for the modules of the RenStar space platform. As we start to seal in the RenStar, so just like we sealed in the power control room in the last episode, it's going to become increasingly difficult to get out of the RenStar without breaking a block or something like that. So one of you guys suggested, why not make an airlock exit dock that we could easily just run through to get out of the space platform? But as we are outside of the atmosphere of the planet, we obviously need to have an airlock dock over here. So essentially what we want to do is come through an airtight door into basically a little chamber that has another airtight door, and once this airtight door is closed, we can then open this one, and that'll allow us to go into the atmosphere without you know, messing up the pressure inside of the RenStar. So an absolutely awesome idea, and definitely something that I want to do. Now, do you remember, guys, a few episodes ago I was asking for ideas about what to do with the other space inside of the corridor? Of course, we're using this space of the corridor for the utility station, and I was asking you guys, what do you think we should use this space for over here? And man, as soon as I read that comment about the exit dock, I thought that is the perfect location for an exit dock. So I think what we'll do is add an exit dock onto each of the long passageways of the corridors. So wherever you are in the RenStar, you'll be able to access a utility station, you'll be able to access a portal pad, and you'll be able to access an exit dock. So wherever you're running along in the RenStar space platform, it is as convenient as it can be for you as a crew member of the RenStar to do that. And guys, I have also been working on the other two corridors, as you can see, of the RenStar. Just laid down a few of the foundations, laid a bit of the roof down, a little bit of the walls, the easy bits basically. Still need to lay down all of the little corner slabs and whatnot, but the RenStar is slowly but surely coming together, man. It is just looking so awesome around here. I'm really loving this particular module, and as I've told you guys before, my plan is to have this module finished by the end of season 1 in this Feed the Beast series, and then in season 2 we're going to start working on another module. So we have still got a ton of work to do, guys, but it is all freaking awesome work, man, and I'm having so much fun. But guys, today we're going to be working on a couple of automatic doors using sticky pistons, and we're going to be experimenting a bit with redstone tube frames. Do you remember we used some redstone tube frameage in the Ferro Harvester factory way back, probably like 20 episodes ago? There we go, down there in that factory over there. And I've been having a little bit of problem with red alloy wire turning off my inverted lamps. As you can see, can we actually see it here? No, we can't see it on this particular door, but we can see it here. There you can see that the inverted lamps actually turn off, and that is because of the red alloy wire that's either running over them or on a block that's adjacent to them. And one of you cyberdogs mentioned using redstone tube frames instead of alloy wire where we can, because the redstone tube frames will actually not turn off inverted gray lamps. So I thought, you know what, this is actually quite a good time to experiment with this. And essentially what the redstone tube frame is going to do is the same purpose as the red alloy wire, and that is sending a redstone signal into a redstone torch that is going to be activating these sticky pistons over here. So this is going to be the plan over here, guys. We want to be able to hit this pressure plate for this this pressure door to open up. Then we're going to go into this chamber over here and then press a button over here, which will open this final pressure door. By the time we open this door would have closed behind us because of the timed pressure plate. So that's kind of the plan for today. Now, whether or not we can pull this off or not remains to be seen. I've already done a little bit of setup work over here. I've got the foundation for the actual exit dock set up with a little bit of copper blocks and lapis blocks, so that's looking pretty awesome. I've also installed all of the sticky pistons too, so we've got 6 sticky pistons on this side and 6 on this side. I decided to make the doors slightly different to these doors, which are doors that slide to the side. These doors are going to slide up and down, and that was more because I wanted to maintain symmetry within this space. I wanted 2 blocks on this side and 2 blocks on this side of the exit door. Plus, it's a freaking exit door, man. And when I think of an exit door from a space platform, they seem to always open this way, right? They always open up and down rather than to the sides or whatever. So, you know, that's just the way that my brain works, people. All right, let's try and get this freaking thing set up and working. Why don't we go down here below? And what we need to do, the first thing that we need to do is get these sticky pistons actually fired up, right? We need to get both sets of these sticky pistons extended via a signal from a redstone torch. So what we need to do, and I'm going to use iron for this particular build instead of using marble, because I think that a lot of this is going to be visible from within the maintenance level of the ReNStar and probably from down below. So I think it's important that we do use iron for this. And what I think I'm going to do is just make like a little work platform over here. Let's just like get some iron down here like this, just to give us something to work from, so we can stand here without having to like float up and down all the time. And the plan here is to get all of these sticky pistons activated, right? So I think the best way to do that is going to be, if we're going to be using this redstone tube frame experiment like this, what we could do is run the redstone tube frame stuff like this. Oh, and another advantage of the redstone tube frame is that you can actually block off certain sides of it to stop redstone signal going out or into it, which is really, really awesome. And the way that you block it off is by using covers to do that. So let's have a look, man. I'll just quickly show you how to do that. Say we have like some iron covers like this. If we stuck an iron cover into this side of the redstone tube frame, that is not going to be sending a redstone signal. You can actually see inside there, the redstone like cable has turned away from this particular wall on the redstone frame. So that is really, really awesome. But anyway, okay, so what we need to do basically is turn this redstone frame on. So if we have why don't we do it like in the middle? Because let's try keep it nice and symmetrical, right? So check it out. If we have the redstone tube frame coming down like that, and then we have a redstone torch underneath it like this. There we go. All right, so that's awesome. That has actually worked, and that has extended the bottom sticky pistons. All right, very, very sweet. Now, what we need to do is get exactly the same thing happening for the top pistons up there, right? So, I think we could probably just run it along like and there we go. You see, there we have the... Okay, so the redstone frames can actually turn off the inverted lamps, but you can stop that happening by putting a cover on that particular side of it, right? And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean now. So let's get this redstone tube frame all the way up to the top of these sticky pistons. And then we'll do exactly the same thing for these sticky pistons, but along the top like this, right? So that should eventually kick in. Come on, redstone signal. Was that not a strong enough redstone signal? Interesting. But check it out, right? What we'll do is stick one of these iron covers inside of this redstone tube frame, and that's going to stop it turning off this inverted grey lamp. And we're going to have to stick it in there also, like that. There we go. Sweet. Alright, well, for some reason, the redstone signal doesn't want to... Maybe the redstone signal isn't strong enough? Yeah, I think that's probably the case here. So maybe what we need to do is get our redstone torch a little bit closer to this side. So maybe we need the redstone torch to be up there instead of over here. Just collect that one. There we go. Alright, so that's fired up now. Sweet. So what we need to do now is put in an opposite circuit, right? So what we need to do is run a bit of alloy or red alloy wire into this redstone torch over here. That's going to turn it off. And I think we need to run it into the underside of the redstone torch block. So that redstone alloy, that red alloy wire needs to go here. So if we run some red alloy wire like this underneath, and where we're trying to go, we're trying to go to this block over there, right? Alright, so if we run some blockage like this, and we'll neaten all of this up once we've got the circuit working. Let's run the red alloy wire like this. Could come all the way down. Oh! There we go. That's going to be the best way to do it, right? Like so. Alright, so wheat. Actually, this is a horrible way to do it. It's probably better like that, right? And then let's just neaten this up. Alright, there we go. So we now have a redstone signal coming from that pressure plate into the bottom of this redstone torch. This redstone torch is powering these red tube frames, which is actually turning on the sticky pistons right now. So when we step on that pressure plate, we should cut the redstone signal for a few seconds, which will basically power these sticky pistons and thus open the door. Alright, there we go. And for some reason, we have a bit of a... Okay, I see why we have an out of sync problem here, because this red alloy wire is passing over a block that is adjacent to this middle sticky piston over here. So basically what we need to do is run this red alloy wire around the other side, right? It needs to come down like this, basically. And that should do the trick. So we bring it down like so. Alright, there we go. Let's have a look. That should now get all of these sticky pistons syncing quite nicely. There we go. Alright, the sync is achieved. Absolutely beautiful. So if we had like a door here, say we use these silver blocks to actually make the exit door. when we hit the pressure plate, this will open and we'll be able to go into the decompression chamber, basically. And what we need to do now is do the exact same setup for these sticky pistons over here. But I think for these sticky pistons, what we should do is have a button that opens them, that opens this door. Because what we want to do is come through here into this chamber, decompress, then open the button to exit into the atmosphere, right? We're also going to need a button that is going to reopen the door if we're coming in the other side, right? Or perhaps a pressure plate that's going to reopen this door. Yeah, we're going to definitely need an exit button too, I think. So tell you what, guys, I'm going to get this exit door set up. I'm going to get the re-entry button for this door set up, and I'll bring you back on the other side of this kaplam, and we will see exactly where we are with this build. Kaplam! Alright, cyber diggity dogs, welcome back to the decompression chamber of the exit dock of the ReNDoG space platform, and as you can see, it is starting to look pretty freaking awesome. It looks way more complicated than it actually is, guys. So let me quickly take you through exactly how the mechanisms are working. So this button over here is what's going to be used to open the final exit door of the decompression chamber. So when we hit this button, these sticky pistons contract and we can go off into the atmosphere. And the way that that is working is a line of red alloy wire is running all the way down here to deactivate this redstone torch, which is currently activating the sticky pistons. So when we hit this butter, the redstone signal going into the tube frames, you can see actually gets cut because that redstone torch gets turned off, and that basically opens the sticky pistons for a few seconds. I've done exactly the same thing for the entry door of the exit dock over here. So when I hit this button, a redstone signal is sent via this red alloy wire back into this redstone torch over here, which is currently activating these redstone tube frames. So when we hit that button, the redstone signal is cut off to these sticky pistons over here. Now what I've also done is I've wired a button on the inside of the module over here because I don't really want to use a pressure plate. I think I would much rather use a button. And I don't know, there's numerous reasons for that. I don't like the fact that every time we run across this button, it'll open the door. And when we come out of the door, we have to run over the button, so we like double open the door, right? So I don't really like that. Plus, this is just a little bit more airlocky, if you know what I'm saying. However, I think that a stone button has a very short delay. So as you can see, we took a little bit of damage actually coming through the door there. So what I think we're probably going to have to do is switch out the stone buttons for wooden buttons. And I have a bit of a problem with this because obviously wooden buttons are not really going to last as long as stone buttons in reality. But as you can see, it does open the doors for a little bit longer. So oh man, it's just something we're going to have to live with, I'm afraid. Now, what I want to do aesthetically is maybe get an industrial information panel above each of these buttons. This one will say like entry, this one will say exit or something like that. But most importantly, what I want to do now is get the airlock looking absolutely freaking awesome. I really want it to feel like an airlock. So like when you come in here, I want to feel like we're decompressing kind of thing, you know, like we're keeping the pressure inside of the ReNDoG at a stable level. And obviously I want to fix all of the stuff around here also. Alright, cyber diggity dogs, welcome back. I have just been working on the aesthetics of our exit dock over here, and as you can see, it is looking pretty awesome. I decided to go with reinforced stone as the final look for it, because you know what, we're dealing with high amounts of pressure from within the ReNDoG over here. If we open this door and there's been a malfunction on the inside of the decompression chamber, for example, we could potentially lose this entire side of the space platform. It would just get sucked out. Well, in fact, the ReNDoG would just explode. So I thought we would go for reinforced stone on that side. Number one, to try and make it more realistic, and number two, because it looks absolutely freaking pimp daddy, man. Check it out, it looks really cool. So that's really awesome. Now, inside of the pressure decompression chamber itself, things are looking kind of awesome, but what I'm thinking is that maybe what we need to do is have like a really awesome window or something that looks up into the night sky, and also have sort of windows that look out. So what I thought we could do is like install a couple of windows over here on this side, and this sort of, you can see it's awesome because you can see like the big window of the ReNDoG. You can see down there to the Feru harvester on this side. You can look across the forest area over there. So that's pretty awesome. And what I thought we could do is do the same thing on the top, but we've got these redstone tube frames in the way. It's kind of messing with like a really nice view over here, unless we did something like this where we filled in the redstone tube frames with copper like this. Let's just get these filled in, and then had like a very small little window, I guess. If we just got all of this filled in like this. Just need to cut down a little bit more of this jazz. I suppose this could work. Let's have a look. Let's get some glass up there. The problem with that is that it's not symmetrical to this glass over here, right? If this window sort of came all the way down like that, that would actually be way better. That would actually be really sweet, in fact. Maybe what we could do is move the buttons across one, maybe? That could work quite nicely, actually. I kind of like the idea of having this like long window that goes all the way down like this. Why don't we try that? I don't think there'll be a problem moving the buttons across. So let's just get rid of all of this jazz. Oh, yeah, we might have a problem over here, actually. Huh. If we move the button that reopens the door in this direction, we're going to have a wire that runs along the top or something like that. Actually, you know what? I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Let's just get rid of all of this. We can just reconnect everything once we've had a look at what this window could potentially look like. Let's just get rid of all of these windows. Okay, so let's start again. So if we have the window running like this... Oh man, that actually does look quite sweet. So now we have now we have this like this half circle window, right? Yeah, that is pretty sweet. And then what we could do then is have the buttons over here like this. Let's just get it all filled in, and that'll give us like a really good idea of what it's going to look like. Oops. Get some iron blocks under here like this. All right. So that's looking pretty pimps, I think. And then I guess we get some copper strips like this. That'll run all the way along the top part like this, right? Check it out. Check it out. And that is essentially our decompression chamber like that, right? I mean, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So we're going to come through here into the decompression chamber. We'll have these really nice windows that look... Oh, it's actually really cool looking along the length of the ReNStar. Like this. Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome, actually. Oh, man. Maybe this button needs to be over here. Actually, that works pretty nicely. Because check it out, right? The button that you need to exit is always on the right-hand side of the door that you're trying to get through. So if we put the button here for the exit, then that's perfect. I keep right-clicking here. So if this is the exit button, and then this is the entry button, that kind of makes sense, right? Yeah. Actually, that's really awesome. Alright, sweet guys. Well, I'm going to get this all wired up and working again. I'll bring you back on the other side of this kaplam. We will have a look at the exit dock from the outside and see what we're going to need to do to get it looking really sweet from the outside of the space platform. See you in a second, my friends. Kaplam! Alright, Cyber Diggity Dogs, welcome back to a very rainy morning, and I've been working on the aesthetic symmetry of this exit dock from the outside of the ReNStar space platform. And as you guys can see, if you look to the left and the right, it is starting to look very nicely symmetrical, which is awesome. What that means is that when we finally design the exit hole of the dock over here, we'll be able to make it as symmetrical as we possibly can and make sure that it looks absolutely awesome from a distance. It is kind of looking pretty sweet. It does dip below the ReNStar much lower than it does above it, but remember that this part of the ReNStar is all going to be maintenance level, so it's kind of going to fit into the maintenance level quite nicely, I think. And if necessary, we can sort of increase the height of it above here. But I've done all the rewiring, and I think everything is working correctly. Here is the red alloy wire that runs from the button on the inside of the ReNStar space platform. This connects up to the wire that is in the decompression chamber. This wire goes all the way underneath to turn off this redstone torch, which deactivates the first set of sticky pistons. The same applies to the second set of sticky pistons. We've got a red alloy wire running from this button underneath to the redstone torch over here. That's going to deactivate this set of sticky pistons. What we still need to do is install another button on the outside over here that's going to be able to open the door to allow us to get back into the ReNstar if we want to come in from the outside. But that is looking pretty awesome, guys. And basically what I want to try and do now is work on the exit hole, I guess. I want to try and make the exit hole look pretty awesome. And what I thought we would do is use some inverted gray lamps. And what we could do is make like a, I don't know, like a really cool exit dock, right? That'll look really awesome as you're running out, as you're leaving the ReNstar space platform. I want you to feel like you're really exiting, like a spacecraft dock, I guess. A bit like Star Wars, right? We want it to look really, really sweet, man. So a little something like that, Cyberdogs, and as you can see, as you're sort of exiting, you go through this thing of light, which I think is really awesome. Of course, what we're going to need to do here is cut the redstone signal into these inverted gray lamps by just getting some cover strips into these red alloy tube frames over here, or redstone tube frames. Man, it is so freaking hard to remember all of these names. So do excuse me, guys, when I call things the wrong things in Feed the Beast, man. It is tricky to remember all of this jazz. But there we go. Check it out. So we just need to fix this one now. All right, there we go. Cyber Diggity Dogs looking pretty awesome. Now, what I thought we could do also, as this is the power module that we are entering from the outside, let's make it orange so that we know that what... Like, if we're flying around outside the ReNstar, we know what module this is because the entry docks are orange, right? So that tells us this is the power module over here. All right, guys, that is looking pretty awesome. That is like the entry dock for the power module of the ReNstar space platform, right? So if you're approaching the ReNstar space platform in a jetpack, for example, you can see, oh, there's the orange entry dock. So I know that this is the power module of the ReNstar. And of course, we'll have exactly the same entry dock on all four sides of this particular power module. So that's pretty rad, man. And we'll fly in here and be able to get into the ReNstar this way. We're going to have to find a way to open this up with a button. And what I'm thinking is perhaps we just do it really, really simply. Let's run some red alloy wire up to this block over here, like that. And maybe we could stick another button in here. Because that's going to open this dock bay like that, right? But I mean, that seems like quite far away. I'm not sure we'll be able to press the button and get inside the decompression chamber before being crushed. So I think I'm going to have to try and work on something else for that. But that's going to be a little bit tricky, I think. I don't know, man. I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time on that, guys. But I think this is looking pretty sweet. And I think what we probably could do also is add like another layer. Let's just get up here like this. Maybe add like another layer of copper slabs like that, right? Into the entry dock. And add that all the way around. I think that could look pretty freaking sweet. Let's just make a few more slabs. So check it out, right? Like that. Freaking slabbage! Get in your right place! So a little something like this. I'm going to have to go and smelt down some more copper after this. We have run dry. But let's just use the last of it like that. There we go. See, that kind of makes like a pretty sweet, you know, docking entrance, I think. If we had another layer of copper slabs underneath there, that would be pretty sweet. And then I think what we'll probably need to do is use a whole bunch of iron slabs to sort of fix up the sides of this entry dock. As you can see, it's looking super messy right now. So we'll need to like get a bit of slab. Like this side looks a lot neater actually. So maybe we'll start working on this side of the entry dock to try get it looking awesome. But I tell you what, guys, I'm going to spend the next, I don't know, half an hour to an hour or so working on the aesthetics of this particular entry dock. It is looking absolutely awesome. Just want to thank the Cyberdog who gave me this idea, man. Absolutely sweet. Guys, you can see in the background, the centrifuge array is firing up and it should be making copper for us. So hopefully in the next episode, we'll be able to actually test whether or not not we can create enough copper per nuclear reactor cycle to make a full set of quad uranium cells for our reactors. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. It has been a pretty technical one. I got to say, I've spent quite a lot of time off camera making this docking bay, man, but it is looking absolutely freaking pimp McDaddy. Let's just do one more final run through the whole thing just to get a feel of what it looks like from the inside. Let's seal it off like this. There we go. So we want to exit the power control module of the ReNStar. We know that on each four corners of this module is an exit dock. So we hit the button, we enter the decompression chamber, hit the button, and we fly out into the atmosphere. That's pretty sweet, man. Looking awesome. All right, my friends, I'm going to carry on working on the aesthetics here. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. If you have, hit the like button. Haven't subscribed yet, you hit the subscribe button. We are almost at the end of season 1 of this Feed the Beast series. And man, season 2 is going to be even more awesome as we work on more modules of this space platform. We'll see you in the next video, my cyber diggity dogs. Thanks for watching. This has been ReNDoG, feeding the beast that is our mind. Goodbye, my friends.